think has actually been key in that process?
Well, I remember saying when we were 1-0 down that I still thought we were going to win the series. I had a lot of confidence in the talent and the amount of skill we had in the dressing room. I didn't think we'd win quite so emphatically like we have done. Southampton was clearly a turning point for us to finally get a win. So that first 2 days when we get the goal, I don't know how many we got. Did we get close to 500 and then got a couple of wickets probably that night. Suddenly there's a bit of confidence back in us as a side, and since once we won there and we enjoyed that night, we kind of said, right, that was kind of the blueprint how we wanted to play our cricket against these guys. And credit to the 5 bowlers for the way they bowled, because for sustained periods of pressure we haven't let them get away from us, and that's very hard to bat against. And then we've obviously scored the runs we needed to score.
I know it's always hard, maybe impossible, to sort of compare and contrast achievements.
I still think winning away in India and the way we won there is an amazing achievement, and because I still believed even after Lords we were still going to win this series. So I'm going to rank that one higher in my eyes, but that still shouldn't take that away from the way we've played these last 3 games. And you're right, English cricket needed a series win, and to deliver it like we delivered it, we'll have a big smile on our face to win the last 2 games in 3 days, and to bowl like we did. I think they got no more than 150 in 4 innings. So the bowlers can take a huge amount of credit, and all the batters scored runs. So it's almost like the perfect games.
You saw that funny for me. You remember?
Possibly. Maybe it distracted them a little bit. They were concentrating a little on other stuff as a tactic to try and get James out of the side. And we all know how important he is. And him and Stewart have led that attack amazingly well the last 3 games. A number of times me and Joss have been talking at first slip and keeper saying we wouldn't be surviving any of these balls, and the amount of pressure, there's no release, and it's great to stand at first slip. You feel in the game at all the times, and then especially the last 2 games, the way Wokesy and CJ have picked up their mantle when they've come off. There has been that sustained pressure, which is something we haven't managed to do for a while.
Ali?
Alastair, the managing director said that you, heading an test match against Sri Lanka, you contemplating your future as England captain, but woke up the next day saying that you were going to carry on. How happy are you that you didn't quit, and what changed your mind overnight? What was your thought process there?
The support I had from my wife. You can bare your soul quite often to Alice, and she's very good at getting me back on the straight and narrow. But that was a tough moment, that 4th night. When what happened when we had let a winning position slip, and that was a tough play. Obviously, Lords was very tough as well. The way we lost there in conditions which was very suited to us, and winning the toss, we had a big advantage there. But as I said, I'm quite stubborn, and I believe in my ability, and I'm quite a resilient guy, and that was when I needed it most. And I'm glad that I stuck through the tough times. That's what sport is there. It tests your character, certainly, and to bounce back as a team, as a testament to our character that we managed to do that. I still believe those words were taken a little bit out of context. In that Shane Warne case, wasn't just totally directed at him. You're right. I don't play this game to prove people right or wrong. I never have. I play it to try and win games of cricket for England and do my best at all times. So I'm not sitting here going to be gloating at anything like that. That's not who I am. I'm here because I'm very passionate about English cricket. I believe that at this precise moment in time, I'm the right man to try and lead this team forward alongside Peter Moores and some senior guys. And as I said, I'm very, very privileged to be England captain. It's a great job to have, even through the tough times. You walk out every morning and you got the name, here comes the England captain, and when that's your name, you do it for such a short period of time in your life. You have to hold on to it as long as you can and give everything, because you're very privileged to do that. I got luckier maybe in that kind of things what happen. You try things in certain games. Certainly Sri Lanka, when Angelo Matthews hit us around Hinder Park, that was a bit of a turning point from the way we wanted to go about certain situations. So, but apart from that, I don't think I've changed a huge amount. It's just the way of the game. When things, when you move from gully to full slip and the next ball it goes to full slip, you look like a genius. When you do it and it doesn't go there and it goes the other way, you don't look so good. So, and that's what's kind of happened the last 3 games. We've had a little bit of luck, but I honestly think we deserve the luck because of the way we've hung in there. And as I said, we've got some seriously good cricketers in England, and it's a credit to the guys who kind of were leaving out. People like Liam Plunkett, Ben Stokes, who played in the first couple of games, and that's a healthy place to be.
That wasn't in the back of my mind at all. It will be an amazing thing if I do get there. And obviously it was in people like Broady came straight up to me after I got my second wicket and said you could get it today, 6 for. No pressure or anything, but so yeah, when the captain took me off, that was a disappointing moment. But I'll be happy if I do get there. I'll be happy that people will stop talking about it because it's driving me a bit mad. I'm loving at the minute playing in this team and bowling with the guys out there today. To see the way Chris Jordan and Chris Wilkes have improved in the last 3 games, and now Cookie can have so much confidence in knowing that they're just going to back me and Broady up brilliantly and do exactly the same job as what we do is a credit to them. Being more determined to perform on the field. I think at Southampton, when the stuff was going on around before and after the game, I think the fact that we made such a conscious effort to concentrate on the cricket and not what was going on outside of the game not only helped me but helped the rest of the team, and we were so focused on that game and winning that game that since then we've not let India back into the series, which is again a credit to every single one of the guys that's played.
They didn't really have another chance to, really. We kept taking wickets, and no, I wasn't really. I'm glad that I didn't have to bring him back in once. It was just great. We kept taking wickets, and Wokesy, I think it was his 6th over. He only bowled 6 or 7. It's great to have someone like him to come back. And as I said, we're not in it to. Obviously, it's a great accolade when he beats Sabifi's record, but you've got to do what's the most important thing at the time. And he obviously bowled a brilliant spell. Him and Stewart set the tone so well in the last 2 games. Every time they opened the bowling together, they put India under a lot of pressure, got early wickets, and that's all I can ask for.
The other thing was just
Until I score that 100, everyone will always talk about it, and it was disappointing not to get it. I still think I'm a fair way off my batting, but as I said, it's a bit like my character. I'm quite determined I can find a way to score runs, and I've got to continue the extra work on it, and hopefully, it's a bit like this team. You get it. If I score 1, I'll score a few more, and it's certainly been a long time, and this kind of plays on your mind a bit. But I'm happy the last 3 games to contribute with them. I mean, I haven't sat down with selectors or anything. I'm hope to be massively involved in it. We've got a World Cup in 7 months' time now. We put these rights away for 7 months, and we've got full focus on trying to win a World Cup in conditions which, again, are quite similar to English conditions. Hard bouncy wickets, and so we got to the final of the Champions Trophy when we played our full side, and we've got to start that building process pretty much tomorrow morning. So clearly we'll see what happens with Jimmy in terms of physically, but the way he was bowling at 86, 87, maybe 88 miles an hour today, he looked in pretty fine fettle and hasn't bowled a huge amount of overs, so I'm hoping that he'll be ready to play a full part in that as well.
Jimmy, do you feel there's a special part?
Yeah, definitely. I think we were a bit worried coming into the series that 5 tests could be in such a short period of time, could be quite difficult for the bowlers to get through, but I think the way that we've coped with that, obviously the last 3 tests have helped, or the last 2 certainly have helped because we've not bowled a huge amount of overs, but I think again it's something for the medical staff to sit down and chat to whoever and decide whether I'm fit enough to play.
Look, it's tough cricket, and that's what cricket is. It tests you in different conditions, and you know, they're very fine players. They've had a very tough series against a very good bowling attack. You know, they'll be looking at, like we all do, look at their games to see where they can improve in these conditions. As I said, they've got fine records as cricketers, so there's no reason why they won't bounce back. But as I say, no one has an easier ride in cricket as a batter. You have these tough moments, and you know, it's how you come through them. It kind of defines you as a player.
Jimmy, were you?
I think I tried to be as aggressive. Whether I tried to say any less, I don't know. You see, I think what's helped me in the last 5 or 6 years is the fact that I've been aggressive on the field and had the odd word, and I've tried not to cross the line, and that's why the umpires are there to monitor that. The reason I struggled, I think, in the early part of my career is because I was the timid, shy character that I'm off the field, on the field, so that didn't help me. And you know, working with people to try and get the best out of me, that's what we found, is trying to be aggressive. And possibly in the last few games I've concentrated more on being aggressive with the ball rather than my mouth.
Okay, thank you very much.